Viewers, phase 1 and phase 2 are just days away. And we are now hitting the ground. The hard facts is on the ground in the two important, crucial crucibles of the South, Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. The battle in Karnataka is perhaps the first state where the Congress has sizable turf and reputation to defend post the 2023 Assembly election. Besides, Karnataka is the only state aside from Kerala where the Congress can actually add seats to its dwindling numbers in the Lok Sabha. Additional numbers in the lower house means more leverage at the centre. The Congress will be aware of this. In Karnataka, the Congress has a strong party organization that has stayed surprisingly united. It also has strong local leaders to carry its message to voters. The BJP-led NDA, on the other hand, must at least equal its 2019 tally in Karnataka to be able to propel itself to the ambitious 400-plus seat target it has set for itself for 2024. This isn't going to be easy. The BJP has leadership issues. It also has lost momentum. And there is also a hint of infighting. While the BJP hasn't lost vote share in 2023 from the last assembly battle in 2018, it is aware of the deficiency in its ranks and has therefore tied up with the JDS. On paper, if one were to go purely by vote share, this looks like a prudent move. But chemistry has strange ways of expressing itself at the polling booth. Let us first look at the two numbers that are extremely instructive. When I said that the Congress is resurgent, I'm talking about the 2023 Assembly election result. There, the Congress had 42, almost 43% of the vote and 133 seats. The BJP 66 with 36% of the vote. And if you were to project it, viewers, onto a Lok Sabha map, then the BJP would have 16. And that's significantly lower than the number it garnered in 2019 when it had 51.7% of the vote share and, of course, 25 seats. It almost swept the state entirely. The JDS had won, the Congress won. And, of course, viewers, that means that the BJP has to really come back strong. But the BJP can take heart from the fact that it has history on its side. Karnataka in Lok Sabha polls since the 80s has always voted against the party that has won or emerged the strongest in a preceding assembly election. Besides history, the BJP also has Modi. The PM adds to BJP. Look at those numbers on your screens. The 2014 Lok Sabha result, you have the 2018 assembly elections, you also have the 2019 Lok Sabha election result, and you can see how the vote shares increased between 2014 and 2019. And in the assembly elections, because of the residual effect that the Prime Minister's campaigning has, the BJP's vote share, even in a losing cause in 2023, didn't really soften. If you see on your screens, in 2023, the BJP had 66 seats at 36%. It's retained that vote share from 2018. The Congress, therefore, will be hoping that its mascot Rahul Gandhi can, if not match, then at least dull BJP's Modi edge. This election is therefore also a test of brand Rahul. Remember, the 2023 Assembly win was attributed to Rahul's Bharat Jodo Yatra Connect. So how is it all playing out on the ground? Who has more at stake in this key battleground state, this key swing state, if you like? Well, let's ask the experts. So viewers, here we are at the iconic KLE Society College in Rajaji Nagar, in the heart of Bangalore, so to speak. I should say Bengaluru. And that is when it was called Bangalore. Much has changed, of course, since then. And I want to introduce our panel without any delay. Surbhi Hodigere is with us. We also have with us Tanveer Ahmed, who's a supporter of the Congress. Brijesh Kalappa, who's been a long-standing politician, advocate. and long-standing journalist, Mr. Upadhyay, also here with us. So let's begin to get an assessment. Now, Subi, let me begin with you first. Karnataka is crucial really to the fortunes of the BJP if it is to match its 2019 tally and of course to go beyond that. Now the Prime Minister has said that the BJP should get 370 plus and the alliance should get 400 plus. So Karnataka obviously is that very important cog in the wheel. But the party, it appears from the little conversations I've had, has lost a bit of momentum from the assembly election, so much so that you've had to sort of fall back on, if I can use that word, the crutch of the JDS. Now, that isn't a sign of confidence, is it?
Rahul, it might not appear as a sign of confidence, but it definitely appears as a sign of being pragmatic, realistic, as well as ambitious. We were very clear that there were certain pockets in Karnataka that required a combined fight. And to accept that post an election defeat in the assembly elections and come back, we're a very agile organization. We understand that things go here and there during an election process. We learn quickly and we come back and perform. That is the Prime Minister's mantra, whether it is in governance or whether it is in politics. So to answer your question, yes, the Prime Minister has given a call for 400 plus across the country, and Karnataka is not only going to strengthen it with the existing sort of seats that we have, but we're aiming for the one seat that we don't have as well. This fight in Bengaluru rural, I think, is symbolic of the fight in every other constituency in a big way, because it is a fight against a particular ideology of Bharat Todo, and the Bharatiya Janata Party's idea is more of Bharat Jodo, and that is something that people in Karnataka have been witnessing the Congress bring up again and again and again. But this is an election of the Prime Minister, this is an election of national unity, of national security, and that is the ideas that we are fighting for.
No, I'll come to that. I'll come to the Prime Minister's effect overall on the state during Lok Sabha, but I just want to come back to confidence is okay, one thing. But the alliance is based on a fundamental contradiction also. You have a situation where the Janata Dal proclaims its secular credentials in its name. And for years altogether, it has accused you of playing a divisive politics. So, how does this work? There's another C word called chemistry. How does all this combine? Another C word.
That's interesting that you asked me that question, Rahul. Both the JDS as well as the BJP are fundamentally parties that can work together. And I'll tell you why. These are parties that were born as an anti-Congress party. These were born, the Janata Parivar, the Bharatiya Janata Party. These were parties that were inherently born anti-Congress. And therefore, matching ideologies in terms of, everyday sort of work is one thing, but a larger causes are similar. Now, in terms of, I can give you a lengthy answer on the secularism front, or I can give you a straightforward answer. The Bharatiya Janata Party understands the dharma of the land a lot, which is complex and a lot more futuristically, and I think the JDS has, with their support for the Mandya issue, for example, in Keregodu, or just their understanding has evolved and changed. So we will see what that leads to in terms of policy decisions. But at this point in time, we've had a Samanvaya Sabhe, we've had senior leaders of the parties holding hands in public, ensuring that they are campaigning for each other. So that's show of strength, not just to the public, but also to Karyakartas, is a very, very strong measure that we're going with. And I want to reiterate here that the Bharatiya Janata Party in Karnataka is very clear that we want to strengthen the hands of the Prime Minister. So if that means that we work closely with our alliance partner in certain districts to strengthen our
the hands of the Prime Minister?
The hands of the Prime Minister, absolutely. Absolutely. We're very pragmatic like that.
This is not a water and oil equation here. This will mix. This is milk and milk. Now, you've been with the JDS in the past, Tanveer Ahmed, you've been a very important fulcrum of the party. Do you see the JDS cadre obliging the BJP to make the Prime Minister stronger, so to speak? Do you think that will happen? The chemistry will work?
Rahul, dreams are delectable, but reality is really very, very harsh. Reality is very harsh. If at all you see, my good friend Surabhi Hudigere really gave a lengthy answer about what are their dreams, aspirations, what is that they are trying to reach out and who they are trying to target. But they have really missed to really understand a fundamental question. You need to really understand whether it is JDS, whether it is RJD or whether it is any other regional party, it was formed against Congress as well as BJP. Now if at all she is saying that our minds are meeting and our dreams are coming together, definitely, but dil kabhi nahi milenge. Because on the ground, the Karyakartas were always against only one political party, only one ideology, only one thinking. That was BJP's thinking. And today I see my good friend H.D. Kumaraswamy is really speaking about how both these parties are going to come together. But I just want to ask one thing to my good friend Surabhi Hudigere. Right now you are saying that this election is in the name of Prime Minister. Any seat where you are going to lose, are you going to really say that the Prime Minister lost it? What is the contribution of 4-time MP here in Bangalore Central? People have not even seen his face. He's saying, "Is bar mujhe maaf kar do and vote me in the name of Prime Minister." Is that the way you go for an election? Yes, Prime Minister is an important figure, but every MP is answerable to say what is his contribution. You go on the basis of your past contribution and future programs. Nothing. Ab ki bar 400 bar. Are yaar ye shagufe chodo. Karnataka people are very smart. They are not rhetorics.
You can respond to him on this. If you're fighting on the Prime Minister's name, then is he also, therefore, it's a referendum on him?
Whenever there is a loss that the Congress party faces, they claim that Rahul Gandhi is not to be touched. It is collective leadership, collective leadership. The same thing when it happens in the Bharatiya Janata Party. We have had instances where the Prime Minister has very graciously bowed down and said, yes, we will do better next time. The Bharatiya Janata Party does not function with this thought process of, if I win, it is my victory. If we win, it is our victory. If we lose, it is our loss. And this question has been going around and in different debates. That why is it that you go in the Prime Minister's name? Let me tell you, Rahul, I am a very, very small young Karyakarta in the Bharatiya Janata Party. I take pride, and the Prime Minister has given me this confidence. He has told each and every Karyakarta that if I am able to give you something, which is that I will allow you to hold your head up high and go for a campaign. And that is what I feel that a 73-year-old man is able to go from, content creator award to meeting gamers to undersea diving in Dwarka to ensuring that India has a global presence. I am proud that I'm going in.
Lastminute.com campaign
let's not
of
speak
Mr.
over each other.
Narendra Modi. No, actually, see, I'll tell you, you can't really let any rhetorics go on like this because ab ki baar Modi Sarkar was first time campaign. Then maybe Chaukidar.
Next, Mr. Ahmed, 1 second. Let him finish.
Each of these campaigns, Chaukidar, Chor hai, the whole Parivar, Modi doesn't have a Parivar. These came from the opposition, India Alliance rank, by the way. Now, what I wanted to say was that I feel pride in talking about my Prime Minister. And yes, local representatives.
Our Prime Minister, please.
Absolutely, sir. Our Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, what did the Prime Minister do and what is the duty of a Prime Minister? Has he provided jobs? Absolutely no. Has he solved agrarian crisis? No. Has he solved the international problems? No. All these issues are absolutely no. Now what are we really talking about? Ram Mandir.
Okay.
What are we talking about? Rhetorics.
Let me just open this up. 1 second. Brijesh Kalappa, let me bring you into this. Look, we can point out deficiencies, and I'm sure, and in fact, the Prime Minister, in all honesty, has even come out and said there's a lot of work to be done. There is a lot that I have in mind, and I'm preparing myself, but let's just talk in terms of hard facts. This is a general election campaign. This is not a local municipal election or an assembly election where your existential issues are going to be raised. The previous two Lok Sabha elections have shown that the BJP on an average adds about 12 to 15% per seat when Modi is on the ticket. This election is therefore since everything is becoming so presidential, a test also of Rahul Gandhi's pulling power. If you just go back a few months to last year, the assembly election, the credit went to Rahul Gandhi and his Bharat Jodo Yatra for this sort of resurgence of the Congress party, so to speak. First, is he up to the challenge? Would it be Rahul Gandhi's defeat if they don't carry the state?
See, I'm not going to make a comment on personalities. And honestly, I'm not in any political party, so it's not for me to speak about personalities. And but I can tell you this much, that over the since the election campaign began, I've been as an onlooker, as an observer, as somebody who has been in politics, I've been noticing the continuous decline of the Bharatiya Janata Party and the continuous ascent of the Congress party in Karnataka. So this much I can make a comment about. And I can tell you that when elections were going to be declared, maybe a month, 2 months ago, Congress party was at 3, 4, and this was what most analysts were speaking about. But that momentum seems to be in favor of the Congress party today. And insofar as Karnataka is concerned, I don't know about the other states. And since you are here and the debate is essentially about Karnataka, I can tell you that this seems to be the flavor of the season, one. Two is that as far as the regime is concerned, Modi Sarkar is concerned, I think as far as people generally are concerned, they are now speaking of electoral bonds, which has not been handled well by the BJP. That ought to have been handled better. One, going to the Supreme Court repeatedly, getting rebuffed. That kind of leaves a bad feeling in the mouth. So, a bad taste in the mouth. One. Two, the arrest of Kejriwal has not really gone down well. As far as Karnataka, no, I'm not speaking of general Karnataka, but people who have an opinion and who are opinion makers, this is what they are speaking about. The third factor which has impacted the BJP adversely is the fact that the Congress party is being stymied of funds and so on and so forth. So these are the three national reasons why the Congress is gaining and the BJP is losing ground, plus the fact that the BJP is not able to manage its seats, its coordination within the seats. I think this is impacting the BJP. And in regard to who is going to take the credit and who is going to take the discredit for losses, that's true of every political party. The man at the head always shrugs off losses.
But Prashant Kishore has actually advised Rahul Gandhi this time to read the writing on the wall and exit the scene if he can't carry the Congress into power. So I think at some level, accountability will have to be fixed.
No, that accountability question will start on the 4th of June, not earlier than that, depending on how the parties perform.
So you don't believe that Rahul Gandhi's, this is not in some ways, look, he's made it about the South and his connect with the South, the Congress's connect with the South. Even after Telangana results, he was sort of talking about this binary in the way voters oppose. That in the South somehow there is greater involvement, there's more intellectual rigor, etc., etc. So clearly he's pitched his tent in the South. If he can't carry the South for the Congress, then what's there?
It looks like, as far as your question is concerned, it looks like the Congress is going to do very well in the South. So I think, so insofar as the Rahul Gandhi issue is concerned,
Mr. Upadhyay seems to sport a grin on his face on that.
Well, even with their banking on South, I'd like to point out there are 130 seats in the South.
That's right.
How many of them the Congress has at the moment? They have 15 in Kerala, and they have 1 in Karnataka, nil in Andhra Pradesh, nil in Telangana. Okay, so this is the scenario, and they have to reach how much to be able to make an impact. So at the national level, if you look at the national level, out of 314 seats that the NDA contested, in 287 they won. So, against the Congress, 175 seats they won straight against the Congress. Against the regional parties, the 158 seats they contested, they won 128 out of that. 57 went to regional parties. So this is the national scenario now, and 2019, was a landmark year, and I think this time it's going to be better than that because of the certain alliances that
I read a piece by you
Pardon?
I read an article by you, Mr. Upadhyay,
Yeah.
and you seem to suggest that unusually for the BJP, the party has failed to unite, even behind Mr. Modi here in Karnataka. And we've had Mr. Amit Shah coming down, there have been meetings, etc. There are also some rebels, quite prominent rebels. Now, this happened also in 2023 and it cost the BJP a great deal. It's happened in the past also, as we know, with Mr. Yadurappa coming and going, etc. Do you think this schism within the BJP will hold it back this time? Do you think the same numbers it's going to get despite the Prime Minister being on the ticket?
Well, I think there is a lot of difference between the Lok Sabha elections and assembly elections. Especially in Karnataka, I think people vote for Prime Minister Modi. You see, last time the BJP got 53% votes and 19 out of 28 candidates won by more than 1 lakh margin. I mean, that's a huge margin to overcome for the Congress. So it's not going to be easy for BJP, despite, the BJP in the regional leaders not cooperating with, the central leadership. I mean, there is a certain extent, there is a schism within the party. But, the onus is on BSY and his son. Because unless they are able to unite and get the party do well, they are out of the business. Because they've been brought back now.
It's an existential crisis. So that will
existential crisis for them. So they will naturally work for the party. And there are candidates probably they are not really happy with. But I'm sure they will work for the party for their own survival.
Okay, so let me bring you into this because this is interesting, Tanveer Ahmed. There is a 12 to 15% gap. Now, even in the assembly elections that have just passed, the BJP didn't really lose vote share, assembly election to assembly election. It was a pretty standstill arrangement. You actually, the Congress that is, were able to pull votes away from the JDS in the south and therefore perhaps made up those numbers. And the Prime Minister is expected in the state. He's going to be focusing on that area. That is the reason why the JDS is in. Can you actually make up that difference when the Prime Minister is on the ticket? Otherwise, we wouldn't be speaking about these two dramatic outcomes in 2014 and 2019 and seeing that this will replicate itself.
Absolutely. I was expecting this question to come. But however, let's really analyze what is happening at BJP's level. Let's take Shivamogga. What is happening at Shivamogga? Ishwarappa. What is happening at Chikkamangaluru? C.T. Ravi. What is happening at Basanagowda Patil Yatnal? Everybody are trying to do only one thing. They want to really show to Yadurappa and his sons, and especially to his few courtiers, that this is not the way you have to really run a political party. Today, it is not going to be, Congress is definitely putting a great fight with all their programs. It really looks like with the collective leadership which they are working, especially in the state leadership. Let's not talk about Rahul Gandhi. Let's talk about Rahul Gandhi a little later. But
why not? Look, he is their face, undoubtedly so.
See, right now, Congress has said that everybody is a face. What is a face? Every common person is a face.
Can I ask you? There is this perennial question being asked about his second seat, his safe seat, his this seat, his that seat, and his sort of migration to Wayanad. Why isn't he contesting from, let's say, South Bangalore or a seat perhaps in the south of the state?
If Rahul Gandhi had come to Wayanad this time, we could have really questioned it. Rahul Gandhi is already a candidate from Wayanad who really won with a thumping majority and margin. We can't really say that he has just come now.
Well,
Rahul
remember
Gandhi
his
is already a candidate.
His grandmother, when the chips were down, it was Karnataka that sent her back to the Lok Sabha. Why is Rahul Gandhi running away from Karnataka?
Rahul Gandhi is absolutely with Karnataka, with every program of Karnataka. He is absolutely following to every minuscule details which I was given to understand. But now let's really see.
Well, he was very much out of the campaign in the assembly elections.
He wasn't seen at all.
Well,
was he?
He was seen to be a liability by the two big chiefs.
He is the one who launched the 5 guarantee program. He is the one who was holding the right press conference. He was the one who was taking opposition head on. So what do you want really Rahul Gandhi to do?
No, because it's interesting,
to
because the reason we've come to this
Rahul
question
Gandhi
is because
really
you sort of asked Surbhi Hodigere, with Modi take responsibility even if they lose 3 seats. So conversely, will Rahul Gandhi, since you say he's the face of the Congress, will he take responsibility?
See, as far as my understanding goes, and Surabhi needs to really answer, is Rahul Gandhi, other than a member of parliament right now, a contestant, is he the president? I don't think so.
He's a
I
lead
don't think
campaigner.
so. No, he's a lead campaigner. There are about 40 lead campaigners.
Okay. Surabhi Hodigere, a quick one.
No, I'll take it. I'll take the fact that Rahul Gandhi today is a MP only and not the president of the Congress party. What we would have liked to see, given that that is the situation, is that maybe the Congress backs Mallikarjun Kharge, the son of Karnataka, as the prime ministerial face, given that Rahul Gandhi does not need to have that position as he's an Indian MP. What we would have also liked to see is, let me tell you how the BJP has approached its non-bastion of the South as being claimed elsewhere, right? We have been very meticulous. You might have seen the rally that the Prime Minister took out in Chennai a couple of days ago.
Oh, we know what happened in Kachativu.
May I please?
You started the campaign and you lost it. People of Tamil Nadu really told that
if you
these
interrupt
are...
me,
No,
the-
you can't
no,
really
no,
interrupt
if you-
away.
One second,
I'm
Mercy,
not-
let her
I'm not
finish.
running away,
I'll
I'm
get
sitting
you-
down.
I'll get you into the conversation.
1 million people, Tamilians will
Tanveer
suffering.
Ahmed,
Dude,
we-
Tamilian life doesn't matter.
Okay,
Tanveer Ahmed
we've got
looks
to
like
extend a bit of a
An
courtesy.
interruption looks like you are afraid of the argument. So let's not give that message to the viewers. I will finish and hand it back to you. What I'm saying is that the BJP in its mission south has been meticulous and persistent. Yes, we have not had the sort of electoral victories in the south as we have had in the north, right? So we have been meticulous about it. Same with West Bengal. Same with the northeast. What has the Rahul Gandhi led Congress or Rahul Gandhi affiliated Congress done? They have run away from North India. You have a 2% vote share in Uttar Pradesh for the grand old party which has ruled Uttar Pradesh consecutively. You have no no representation in Amethi. All right, granted, you could not stand up against Smriti Irani in Amethi, but does that mean that you tell North Indians as lazy and say that South is a lot more intellectually gifted? These are not becoming of a national leader, absolutely not. So therefore, Rahul Gandhi being just an MP from Wayanad, and look at the cracks that are forming over here, right? You talk about the differences within my party, you talk about Shimoga. Shimoga is the only reasonable example you can give. Chikmagalur, C.T. Raviyanna, I don't know what discontent you're talking about. He is with us every single day in the media center, elsewhere, giving us direction and support. May I just finish, please?
Yeah.
The Yatnal, sir, he is also with us. Shimoga will be solved. The party president has very clearly stated again and again in interviews that we will take this along. What about Pratap Simha? What about Nalin Kumar Katil? They have taken it amongst
I really understand where Pratap Simha is.
One, personal relationships aside, sir, but what is the party in your party? What is the difference between the CM and the DCM? Where are your India alliance partners? In Wayanad, Rahul Gandhi is contesting Wayanad is not approved by the left there. So don't think about our party's differences.
See, this is democracy. If at all there is a certain seat where the partners really feel that they have to really put a candidate, it is democracy. Everybody is willing to, and we should really appreciate about it. And you said north and south divide. When Rahul Gandhi was speaking,
Rahul Gandhi is talking about.
When she was speaking, Rahul Gandhi was speaking about economic condition of south is better. North, wake up. The education condition of south is better.
I think that
north, wake up.
I think
absolutely, he was asking not to wake up and say that South India is.
No, who put the north to sleep? Wake
you
up
need to really
say.
Understand Yogi Adityanath. Yogi Adityanath with his bulldozer and with his nuances.
Congress ruled for 60 years this country.
Yogi Adityanath has really taken north
60 out of 75 years.
Congress
ruled.
Tanveer Ahmed, let me ask you a counter question. Look, the fact is that the India Alliance says that the I in the India Alliance stands for inclusivity, inclusiveness. Now we are speaking on a day when the key accused of the Rameshwaram blast have been arrested and they have been found in Kuntai in Bengal. The BJP has been saying that the Congress is a party for, by and of a few, especially in Karnataka. The Bengaluru blast, the raising of pro-Pak slogans, and even a budget that was criticized for its appeasement of Muslims strengthens the feeling that it isn't inclusive and makes it quite clear in its approach to policy making and even law and order. This is what is being said. It promises a caste census, which is obviously a divisive issue, as we know. In Karnataka, it has conducted a caste census. It hasn't released the results of the caste census. Is this not divisiveness to the power X?
See, caste census is definitely never it is never divisive. Very reason is we need to really understand the socio-economic condition of every caste. We need to really elevate them
So
accordingly.
where is your caste census
And
survey result?
The previous caste census which was done, and actually I think it was tabled, and they said there are certain errors which we need to correct it, and we would definitely tabled it. And this was done. And when Mr. Nitish Kumar was a partner of Congress, he proudly came and he revealed the caste census. BJP absolutely went away with the same partner. So don't you think BJP would
Mr.
have really...
Upadhyay, yes.
Having taken up this caste census and asked their Minorities Commission chairman to update it and whatever, give the report, and that report came before the elections were announced. Did they have the guts to come out with that report and say this, we are going to implement it? They don't. If Siddaramaiah had announced that we are going to implement it, his government would have fallen. The Lingayats and the Vakaligas would have got together and said, what the hell are you trying to do? So they just wanted to show to the people, okay, we are doing this, and you just, kept it aside. You were not even announced,
So
published it.
Kalappa,
There's not even a
trumps
published
principles again, policy and commitment again. That's what's happening. You're worried that the Vocaligas and the Lingayats will get a shock, and they will say that, look, this is not on. Other castes are going to get sort of the larger pie. And therefore you put it in the cold storage, now claiming that, oh, there are certain anomalies in this, that, the other.
I like the way you're drawing me into the Congress party. I'm not in the Congress party.
You be somewhere, yeah.
That's
You be somewhere.
Let me just tell you about the caste census. That Mr. Shivkumar made a statement which was against the caste census. And if I remember right, Mr. Karge said that you see all forward castes are against the caste census. It's only people who are going to be beneficiaries of the castes. That is, I think, about 60-62%
That's
in
right.
Karnataka. So I think if you're going to speak about communities, 62% are going to be beneficiaries of the caste census. So where is the problem? So ultimately it will be revealed. Just like if it's a national policy of one political party, and the government has actually conducted a caste
We are
census.
really talking about the divisiveness that is being woven in the name of inclusivity.
I don't
It's
think
a vote bank focus.
See, once the Supreme Court has decided in the OBC case that Indira Sani's case that caste has to be found out and has approved of the Mandal Commission, I don't think it can be termed as a divisive issue anymore. Let me just complete one more issue which I think is going to be of some benefit to you and to your viewers. See, as far as the 2019 elections are concerned, BJP had a vote share of 52% and the JDS had a vote share of 8%. And insofar as the 2023 elections are concerned, the BJP had a vote share of 36% and the JDS had a vote share of 14%.
Yes.
So either way, the BJP should be able to match what they got the last time.
Yeah.
But my gut feeling is that number is going to fall short.
Okay, so let's look. I'm running out of time. Very quickly going across the panel. How much do you think the BJP and the Congress are going to end up with? Give me the BJP number.
28 on 28.
28 on 28.
Absolutely. With
Tanveer Ahmed.
Bengaluru rural switching.
Okay.
See, this is absolutely rhetorics. I think
Number.
I think it's going to be 60-40, 60 to Congress and 40 to BJP.
60-40.
Yes.
Okay.
See, when the campaign began, the Congress was at only 2 or 3 seats, and the momentum seems to be in favor of the Congress party, in my reading.
So top number for the Congress?
I think
6, 7?
as on today, I think 8 to 9.
8 to 9.
Yeah.
Mr. Upadhyay.
I think it will be 21 for BJP, 2 for JDS, and the remaining 5 for Congress.
Very interesting. We've got quite a bit of variation on our panel, more certainly than some of the opinion surveys. It is really a swing state, Karnataka this time, and it is central to the BJP's fortunes. Though I have to say that it is the Congress that has more at stake, because as we began by saying, the Congress wants desperately to increase its numbers in the Lok Sabha to gain more leverage. That's what they actually need to be able to influence the politics of this country. And if they don't, it's going to be problematic. An existential crisis really for the Congress, because it's really only got at least academically, hope in the South. We leave it to that. It's been a very invigorating session. Thank you very much, viewers.
On the Rameshwaram blast case, we are now learning that there's been a major breakthrough after NIA detained the key suspects. There's another update that the main accused has now been arrested from West Bengal. This is the big breaking story that we are bringing to you with regards to the Rameshwaram blast case. Remember, the NIA had identified Musawwir Hussain Shazib as the key accused who had carried out that blast at the cafe, the Rameshwaram Cafe in Bengaluru on 1st of March. Those are the CCTV images of the main accused. Let's quickly go across to Arunima, who's currently live with us. Arunima, share with us details of this arrest that's just been made. How has the NIA finally been able to trace him all the way to Bengal?
So what the NIA has said is that they had concrete leads. They were questioning all the ISIS Shimoga module members for some time now, and based on that they got a lead that perhaps there is a hideout or somebody who's harboring the accused in West Bengal, based on which a team landed up at their hideout in West Bengal early this morning, and they found both the main accused, Musawwir Hussain Shazib, who's accused of placing the IED at the Rameshwaram Cafe blast. He's the man you see wearing the baseball cap in all the CCTV footage that was captured by NIA, and his harborer, Abdul Mateen Taha, the alleged mastermind, as the NIA is calling him. He allegedly planned this entire conspiracy, put together the explosives for the IED, and trained Shazib to carry out this blast. So the both of them were together and they were found at this hideout in West Bengal early this morning by NIA. They will be taken to the relevant court in Bengaluru. NIA is likely to seek custody from there.
Absolutely. That's in fact a huge shot in the arm for the NIA. On that note, let's also go across to Harish, who's live with us. Harish, major victory for the NIA now that they've been able to trace the accused and the co-conspirator. This would have been a multi-pronged investigation, I believe.
Absolutely. NIA pointing out that they have indeed received help from multiple agencies, not just Karnataka police, but police in other states as well. As Arunama pointed out, this has been an investigation that's gone into several states. It was in Tamil Nadu for a brief while, in Maharashtra because there was a suspicion that they'd gone to Pune. Now they've been picked up from West Bengal. In the meanwhile, there were other states in North India where they had a bit of a suspicion. That too has been looked into. It also gives an indication on how the planning has happened from the end of these conspirators. They've gone to multiple cities. They've ensured that the police or NIA in the later stage of this investigation do not get any sort of a lead on their whereabouts. And also right now, the other key aspect that we'll have to talk here is how, with the arrest of Abdul Tahim Mata, it's in a way the complete ISIS Shimoga module has been dismantled. Sharik is arrested, Mazmunir is arrested, Taha Mateen is somebody who was also seen as a handler or a conspirator in the Mangaluru blast case. With his arrest now, it's in a way end of the ISIS Shimoga module, but definitely two things yet to be ascertained, whether they were others, and second, there was another person who went by the name of Colonel. What happens to him? Where is he? Is he absconding? Is he in another country? That's something that the NIA will talk about, but a major breakthrough for the NIA, as you rightly mentioned.
Absolutely. On that note, Arunima, how the NIA planned this out, because remember they had also declared rewards.
Well, in the first segment, we were on the ground in Bengaluru, in Karnataka. Now let's turn our attention to Tamil Nadu. You all know the statistics, but none of them apply to the contest at hand. If the BJP secures double-digit vote share and a handful of seats, statistical history will be rewritten. So can the BJP spring a surprise? Let's ask CNN News 18's Zaka Jacob. Thanks, Zaka, for joining us on this broadcast. Let me begin by asking you, what is the undercurrent in Tamil Nadu as you perceive it on the ground?
You're right. I mean, this state, the state of Tamil Nadu, has always had, decisive voting patterns in the sense that it has always favored one party or another in a very decisive way. It's never given a fractured mandate. So whether it be for parliamentary elections or even assembly elections, if you look at the 2019 parliamentary elections, the DMK alliance won 38 out of 39. It was a massive, almost like a wave election. If you look at 2014, for example, the AIADMK alliance won all 39 seats. So this state has always given decisive verdicts, almost wave-like verdicts. This time around, I don't know if there's a wave, but certainly in a large majority of seats, Rahul, out of the 39 seats, maybe in 30 to 35 seats, I think it is a unidirectional sort of result. As far as the BJP is concerned, yes, it is in play. It is giving a tough fight in about 5 to 6 seats. The key for the BJP is how many of those 5 to 6 seats will they be able to convert from a tight fight to a win.
Let me ask you, has the Prime Minister's Blitz connected with Tamil Nadu's voters? The Prime Minister has been at least 10 times in just this year. Has he established that rapport? Zaka.
Of course, the Prime Minister's been here. It's probably one of the states that he spent the maximum amount of time travelling back and forth. In fact, he was here a couple of days ago. This is called the Pondi Bazaar, Panagal Park area. It's one of the busiest thoroughfares here in Chennai. It's filled with business establishments, shops, marketplace. It's sort of the beating heart, if you will, at least commercially speaking, the beating heart of the city. And the Prime Minister was here. I believe there were anywhere between 10 to 15,000 people for his roadshow. The energy was very vibrant. Of course, the BJP has accused the DMK government, the Stalin government, of stifling and curtailing even more people from coming for the roadshow. The DMK, on the other hand, says, just about 10,000 people or so showed up for the Prime Minister's roadshow, and that's an indication of how unpopular the BJP is here in Tamil Nadu. But I think one thing to give credit where it's due, I think the Prime Minister, the BJP, from the leadership downwards, is really throwing the kitchen sink in this election in Tamil Nadu. As somebody said on Twitter, if this were an India-Australia series, then Tamil Nadu happens to be the last frontier for the BJP. If they are able to make inroads in Tamil Nadu, I think it would significantly alter not just the politics of the state, but certainly the politics of the country as well.
Okay, my third question to you. Does Stalin retain popular support on the ground that will perhaps see the DMK alliance through? The DMK, of course, has also been able to retain its old partners. So it's a tried and tested formation.
You see, the Stalin government, depending on who you speak to, is either popular or there is a great deal of anti-incumbency. Supporters of the Stalin government say, schemes like, for example, the 1,000 rupees to women is very, very popular in this part of the world. The free bus travel to women, again, very, very popular in this part of the world. And, there's an economic rationale behind the free bus pass to women, because it means that the female labour participation rate, for example, is much higher in a state like Tamil Nadu compared to, let's say, North Indian states. So, and one of the reasons DMK supporters cite is that it enables women to travel freely without paying any bus fare. That actually contributes to them actively taking part in economic activity. So that's what the supporters say. The detractors of the current regime, the Stalin regime, say there is a lot of anti-incumbency against him. One of the reasons that they cite is high electricity charges. I believe in the last couple of years, they've raised electricity charges quite substantially here. Property tax has also gone up. So these are a couple of reasons that they cite for anti-incumbency against the Stalin government. But I think this election, because it's a parliamentary election, is not so much a reference in the state of Tamil Nadu on 10 years of the Modi government and what he and his government have done or have not done for the state of Tamil Nadu. So this is really a referendum on the Modi government, and there again, depending on who you speak to, if you speak to a BJP supporter, they say the Modi government has given far more to the state of Tamil Nadu by way of aid and grants than in the previous 10 years of the UPA. And if you speak to the DMK and its supporters, they say even on something like the floods that happened in Chennai last year, the requested funds have not been allocated by the centre. So it's very contentious. But I think it's very clear this election is more a referendum on the Modi government and what it has done or not done for the state of Tamil Nadu, much more than it is a referendum on the Stalin government here.
Now let me ask you, Zaka, why does the BJP flounder in Tamil Nadu? What is it about the BJP that prevents it from breaching the Dravidian wall?
So it's a great question. Why has the BJP floundered in Tamil Nadu in the past? Now, there are two parts to this. One is the ideological answer. BJP, at least up until this election, up until the last couple of years, has not been able to provide an ideological response to Dravidianism, right? The major ideological sort of bedrock of politics in this state for the last 50 years, since the 1960s and 1970s, has been Dravidianism. Whether it is DMK or ADMK, the politics of the state for the last 50 years has oscillated between these two Dravidian parties. The BJP has to provide an alternative. Now, the Dravidian parties, certainly the DMK and of course now the ADMK as well, because it's not in alliance with the BJP, say that the BJP stands for everything that is anti-Dravidian. So that whole perception, the BJP, that whole myth, if you speak to a BJP supporter, they have to break that first. And that has taken a long while coming. Now with Annamalai and his social media popularity, the BJP feels they have reasonably broken that myth of Dravidian politics. Also, the new generation, for example, is not that enamored by Dravidianism or Dravidian politics. It was something that was representative of an earlier generation, an earlier era. So the BJP is also hoping that this first generation of voters will be able to support them far more than earlier generations have. So one part of it is ideological. The other is of course political. The BJP in Tamil Nadu, at least up until now, has not had the organizational strength, the booth management strength like it does in North Indian states. It has always depended on the AIADMK, even when Jayalalitha was in power and post that when EPS was Chief Minister. It has depended on the AIADMK and its cadre for a ground game. And unless, and in Tamil Nadu, much like in any other state in this country, unless you have a strong ground game, you cannot hope to convert vote share into seats. The BJP, for the very first time in probably the last 20-25 years, is contesting an election in Tamil Nadu on its own strength. It's not dependent on the AIADMK. Previously, it was sort of holding on to the crutches of the AIADMK. Right now, it's not. So this will be a real test in that sense of the BJP. How much resonance, how much relevance does it have in the state of Tamil Nadu on its own strength without depending on allies and partners, and whether or not it can, of course, there is no doubt it will improve its vote share. It will probably double its vote share. That's a given. I don't think anybody is questioning that. Really, the challenge for the BJP would be to convert that increased vote share into number of seats. Like I said, they're competitive in about a half a dozen seats. If they're able to convert even 1 or 2 seats, that will be a big thing for the BJP, because it's like the Dravidian fortress has been breached. Whether it has been and whether it will be breached, we'll know on the 4th of June.
My last question to you, Zaka. Does AIADMK vote hold the key to this outcome? Many people are saying that it's really the AIADMK vote which will determine which way this election goes. The BJP will be hoping that if it implodes, they get the lion's share, and of course the DMK will be hoping that an imploding AIADMK will, obviously, that vote will move towards the DMK camp. Of course, the AIADMK's vote, if it does implode or stays the same, then of course the DMK stands to gain the most.
Oh, I think that's a great point. I think really the dark horse in this election is the AIADMK, is Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy, who's the former Chief Minister, because like one of our News 18 Tamil editors said, this election, as far as the opposition is concerned, is really about who is the real challenger to the DMK come 2026. Is it EPS and the AIADMK, or is it Annamalai and the BJP? So this election, as far as the opposition ranks here in the state is concerned, is really about deciding who the challenger is. So for EPS, for example, this is a real prestige battle. For example, if the AIADMK's vote share slips to below that of the BJP, that will be a body blow to the AIADMK. Even if, AIADMK does not open its account, AIADMK does not win a single seat, he can still survive that EPS. But if his vote share, if the AIADMK's vote share falls below that of the BJP, then serious questions will be asked of the relevance of the AIADMK as the principal opposition player in the state.
Thanks. Thanks, Zaka. That was great. Great insights coming in there from the ground. We leave it at this. Thanks for watching.
On the Rameshwaram blast case, we are now learning that there's been a major breakthrough after NIA detained the key suspects. There's another update that the main accused has now been arrested from West Bengal. This is the big breaking story that we are bringing to you with regards to the Rameshwaram blast case. Remember, the NIA had identified Musawwir Hussain Shazib as the key accused who had carried out that blast at the cafe, the Rameshwaram cafe in Bengaluru. The CCTV images of the main accused. Let's quickly go across to Arunima, who's currently live with us. Arunima, share with us details of this arrest that's just been made. How has the NIA finally been able to trace him all the way to Bengal?
So what the NIA has said is that they had concrete leads. They were questioning all the ISIS Shimoga module members for some time now. And based on that, they got a lead that perhaps there is a hideout or somebody who's harboring the accused in West Bengal, based on which a team landed up at their hideout in West Bengal early this morning, and they found both the main accused, Musawwir Hussain Shazib, who's accused of placing the IED at the Rameshwaram cafe blast. He's the man you see wearing the baseball cap in all the CCTV footage that was captured by NIA, and his harborer, Abdul Mateen Taha, the alleged mastermind, as the NIA is calling him. He allegedly planned this entire conspiracy, put together the explosives for the IED, and trained Shazib to carry out this blast. So both of them were together and they were found at this hideout in West Bengal early this morning by NIA. They will be taken to the relevant court in Bengaluru. NIA is likely to seek custody from there.
Absolutely. That's in fact a huge shot in the arm for the NIA. On that note, let's also go across to Harish, who's live with us. Harish, major victory for the NIA now that they've been able to trace the accused and the co-conspirator. This would have been a multi-pronged investigation, I believe.
Absolutely. NIA pointing out that they have indeed received help from multiple agencies, not just Karnataka police, but police in other states as well. As Arunama pointed out, this has been an investigation that's gone into several states. It was in Tamil Nadu for a brief while, in Maharashtra because there was a suspicion that they'd gone to Pune. Now they've been picked up from West Bengal. In the meanwhile, there were other states in North India where they had a bit of a suspicion. That too has been looked into. It also gives an indication on how the planning has happened from the end of these conspirators. They've gone to multiple cities. They've ensured that the police or NIA in the later stage of this investigation do not get any sort of a lead on their whereabouts. And also right now, the other key aspect that we'll have to talk here is how, with the arrest of Abdul Tahin Mata, it's in a way the complete ISIS Shimoga module.
Election fever is gripping Tamil Nadu.
Maharashtra is going to polls in 5 phases.
Crowds are building for the Prime Minister's rally.
The Congress is hoping this time it can snap some seats from the BJP.
Corruption, Hindutva and Vikas remain the core pitch for the BJP.
One of the important factors of this election will be the return of statehood. The guarantees of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is resonating with people.
Amid this controversy, we are seeing that Rahul Gandhi has arrived at Wayanad.
Co-powered by.
On the Rameshwaram blast case, we are now learning that there's been a major breakthrough after NIA detained the key suspects. There's another update that the main accused has now been arrested from West Bengal. This is the big breaking story that we are bringing to you with regards to the Rameshwaram blast case. Remember, the NIA had identified Musawwir Hussain Shazib as the key accused who had carried out that blast at the cafe, the Rameshwaram cafe in Bengaluru on 1st of March. Those are the CCTV images of the main accused. Let's quickly go across to Arunima, who's currently live with us. Arunima, share with us details of this arrest that's just been made. How has the NIA finally been able to trace him all the way to Bengal?
So what the NIA has said is that they had concrete leads. They were questioning all the ISIS Shimoga module members for some time now. And based on that, they got a lead that perhaps there is a hideout or somebody who's harboring the accused in West Bengal, based on which a team landed up at their hideout in West Bengal early this morning, and they found both the main accused, Musawwir Hussain Shazib, who's accused of placing the IED at the Rameshwaram cafe blast. He's the man you see wearing the baseball cap in all the CCTV footage that was captured by NIA, and his harborer, Abdul Mateen Taha, the alleged mastermind, as the NIA is calling him. He allegedly planned this entire conspiracy, put together the explosives for the IED, and trained Shazib to carry out this blast. So both of them were together and they were found at this hideout in West Bengal early this morning by NIA. They will be taken to the relevant court in Bengaluru. NIA is likely to seek custody from there.
Absolutely. That's in fact a huge shot in the arm for the NIA. On that note, let's also go across to Harish, who's live with us. Harish, major victory for the NIA now that they've been able to trace the accused and the co-conspirator. This would have been a multi-pronged investigation, I believe.
Absolutely. NIA pointing out that they have indeed received help from multiple agencies, not just Karnataka police, but police in other states as well. As Arunama pointed out, this has been an investigation that's gone into several states. It was in Tamil Nadu for a brief while, in Maharashtra because there was a suspicion that they'd gone to Pune. Now they've been picked up from West Bengal. In the meanwhile, there were other states in North India where they had a bit of a suspicion. That too has been looked into. It also gives an indication on how the planning has happened from the end of these conspirators. They've gone to multiple cities. They've ensured that the police or NIA in the later stage of this investigation do not get any sort of a lead on their whereabouts. And also right now, the other key aspect that we'll have to talk here is how, with the arrest of Abdul Tahin Mata, it's in a way the complete ISIS Shimoga module has been dismantled. Sharik is arrested, Mazmunir is arrested, Taha Mateen is somebody who was also seen as a handler or a conspirator in the Mangaluru blast case. With his arrest now, it's in a way end of the ISIS.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. The Confederation of Indian Industry, or the CII, has said that Bharat's economy is poised to achieve 8 to 9% growth. CII highlighted that Bharat's focus on developing physical infrastructure and creation of world-class digital public infrastructure in the recent years has set the base for economic growth to gain further momentum. The CII actually expects the next dispensation at the centre to unleash land and labour reforms to fuel economic growth. Meanwhile, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has witnessed a remarkable surge in balances, reaching a staggering 2.35 trillion rupees in the fiscal year 2023-2024. And despite reaching near saturation levels, as many as 33 million new accounts were opened in the financial year 2024, taking the cumulative accounts at 519.5 million. The total balance in these accounts stood at 2.35 lakh crore rupees compared with